Oh my gosh. Hello, willkommen, bienvenue, konnichiwa. Time for another Amish Inquisition, episode 392 on Sunday the 21st of September 2025. I'm Phil.
And I'm Matt.
And after that horrific feedback, because some numpty left a YouTube window open. Oh, never fear. We're joined tonight by Younger Dryas, Carolina Bay's research, Chris Cottrell. How you doing, Chris? Are you reading us?
I'm good. Yes, sounds good.
Is it Cottrell? Is it Cottrell or Cottrell?
So the correct English pronunciation is Cottrell. Cottrell, that's right.
Cottrell.
Yeah. Now I'm very used to hearing Cottrell and all kinds of other variations of my name, but the proper name is Cottrell. That's right.
Do you know who you have to blame for that, Chris?
I'm guessing the English.
No, I think it's Kim Cattrall.
Yes.
Do you know,
yeah.
There's an actress from Sex and the City, and I think she's from Liverpool originally.
Yeah, she is, isn't she?
And she insists on being called Kim Cattrall, whereas if she was back over here in the mother country, she'd be called Kimberly Cattrall.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining us. I emailed you back in June, I think it was. And unbeknownst to me, you were starring at the Cosmic Summit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You were the first podcast to reach out after my Danny Jones episode went out. But I was at the Cosmic Summit when you sent that, so that was cool. Yeah, it was right in the middle of it.
Yeah, it must have been a blast. Excuse the pun.
Oh yeah. We had we had a great time. Yeah. Randall Carlson, Ben Van Kirkwick was there, and there's just the whole lineup was there. Yeah, it was good. We had a good time.
I was looking at the speakers, and I didn't go through our channel, but as far as Younger Dryas, Carolina Bay's research and our back catalogue, you mentioned one there, Ben Van Kirkwick. We've had on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we've had the Cosmic Tusk on.
Yes,
we've had Antonio Zamora, Mark Young, Stiggy, David Stig Hansen, Nikki
Stig was there. Yeah.
Gary from Nerdrotic, Nikki Jones, Mark Young, and now we have you, Chris.
Yes, yeah. As a matter of fact, in your intro, you had the Carolina Bays. You've been playing that for years. You've had and Michael Davis's Carolina Bay. The LiDAR version of it. Pops up every episode. So. Yeah, you guys are well versed. This will be fun.
Well, I think the last proper show we've done on the Bays was Antonio Zamora, which was over 100 episodes ago. So I think we definitely probably need a refresher.
Okay.
And for people who've maybe joined us since the last 2 years, maybe aren't familiar with this topic. So can we start with the baby steps? Can you explain what the Bays actually are?
Yeah. So, the Carolina Bays, they're these near perfectly elliptical depressions that we find all across the East Coast of the United States and North America. They all have this perfect elliptical shape. They all have an orientation that points back to the Great Lakes region, of North America, right over Michigan. And there's another set of them halfway across the continent in Nebraska that have the same elliptical shapes. The same orientation. They all have these raised sandy rims. It's just a very unique geologic feature that we only find here in North America. There are a lot of lookalikes. There are a lot of landforms that often get confused with Carolina Bays, even by people that should know better, like geologists. But they are very unique to North America, and I think there's a pretty neat story to be told with those landforms.
They look. I mean, I've not seen them up front in person, but they look quite subtle. When were they actually? Did we need aerial photography before people had noticed them, or were they discovered hundreds of years ago?
Yeah, the Native Americans of North America had been using them for thousands of years. They were perfect places to go fishing and hunting. In fact, archaeological digs, they've been going on over the past century, and they kept finding these little pebbles, these little roundish pebbles, all in the rims of these Carolina Bays. And it turns out they were gizzard stones from waterfowl that were being hunted inside of the Carolina Bays because they're such a catch for water that they become very swampy. and which is perfect for waterfowl, things like
Yeah.
geese, the wild turkey, ducks, and they were being hunted for game for thousands of years. And so it wasn't like this was like a brand new discovery. People have been using them for a long time. But being able to see how elliptical shape they were and to see their orientation, that really did take aerial photography. And it was back in the 1930s when we finally had that type of technology to send cameras in airplanes, high above the ground and start getting a lot of these images that we got back. And that's when they first saw them. And almost immediately people were like, oh man, these are impact related. And, back in the early 30s into the 40s, there was a lot of debate back and forth whether or not this was a catastrophic cosmic event or if this was just mundane, wind and water processes over thousands and thousands of years. And it really wasn't until I would say this past decade or so that we had, satellite technology and LiDAR and, all of the tools that we need to form a proper conclusion. And that's kind of the problem is that, for nearly 100 years, we have been going down the wrong rabbit hole when we should have been, continuing this cosmic event as a plausible formation for these depressions. And so now we got to play catch up. And that's kind of what we're doing right now.
As far as the bays themselves, what sort of size are we looking at? And are they fairly uniform in size? Or they go from very small to very big?
Yeah, the best way is to just view them. And I know I shared a document with you. I don't know if you can open that and like just you can skip ahead to like slide 9.
Slide 9. Let's have a look.
Yeah, because that's a really good. It's a really good image of an aerial photo of Carolina Bays in a location close to Tatum, South Carolina. Yeah. So and you can kind of, especially if you've been looking at LiDAR and or not even LiDAR, but just looking at Google Earth for a long period of time, you can kind of see what we're looking at. There's lots of farmland there. There's highways in the middle of it. And up in the top corner, there's a city. There's a whole city, town of Tatum, South Carolina. And, we're obviously looking at Google Earth with a landscape in front of us. But when you look at the LiDAR, you're going to really see all of those Carolina Bays pop out because you can see some of them in this image.
Yeah.
There's subtle color differences because they're so swampy that they tend to grow different types of vegetation. And for a long time, we kind of avoided farming them because of how swampy they were.
Wow.
But we've been draining a lot of them and, converting them into farmland. But yeah, click to that next slide and you'll see how much of that location is covered in these perfect elliptical shapes, over and over again, just in this one frame. I mean, there's probably 1,000 of them. And, they're all different shapes. I'm sorry, they're all the same shape, but they're all different sizes, right?
Right.
That should be very telling. How could wind and water create something like this over thousands and thousands of years, where we have some that are overlapping, we have some that are slightly deeper than others. There's just a lot going on in this picture that is hard to explain with gradualistic explanations.
Maybe that's a good place to start with, is maybe to start the mainstream, go over the mainstream hypothesis and tear that to bits.
Okay. Yeah. Well, real quick, before we go off from this, go to the next slide.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is in Nebraska. As I mentioned, if we go halfway across the country in Nebraska, that's literally about 1,800 kilometers away. And all we see in this picture is farmland. But if you click that next slide, it shows that LiDAR version of it as well. And you're going to see these same exact elliptical depressions with identical orientation. They're actually pointed to the same place. They're pointed to the Great Lakes region of Michigan. And so there's obviously something going on there that is, it needs to be told. There's a story that isn't being told that really needs to be. And that's what
it's
we are
like
trying to do.
the shouting, look over there.
Yeah. Like I always say, it's like a group of third graders. They're all pointing at the cause. Ooh, there. That they did it. And it's almost comical, but it's really not. Like I said, this is something that's been going on for a long time. and with no conclusion, because make no mistake about it, these are still mysterious. They don't know exactly what caused this to happen.
Right.
And I really do think that the gradual explanation just doesn't cut it. So,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, we could talk about that.
I think so. I think we should like cover the mainstream hypothesis first before we go into more different alternative explanations.
Okay.
And then people can make their own mind up, can't they?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, absolutely. So for a long period of time, they have been. Did you want to go back to just us?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, we can go back to looking at pictures later if you want
Sure,
to.
yeah.
But yeah, for a long period of time, they think that wind and water created these. Basically, it's called katabatic winds. That during the ice age, there's a tremendous amount of ice sitting on top of the very upper portion of North America. Basically the entire continent or country of Canada was covered under a mile or two of ice. And ice is really cold, and so obviously the air is really dense that sits on top of that ice sheet, and it would rush off the ice and in all directions off of the ice sheet, and that all of the Carolina bays would have had to originated as ponds, like they were ponds of water, and that really dense cold air rushing off of the ice sheets, which would have been directional, would have caused the ponded water to swirl in certain ways that they would form this elliptical shape over time. And yeah, and then really this all kind of, there's a 1977 paper. It's actually a doctoral student's paper from the University of South Carolina, who set out to, basically explain the Carolina Bays away as wind and water features. And he designed an experiment where he took a sand table. He created a circular depression, filled it full of water, and then blew a fan on it for 4 hours, alternating the direction of the winds every 15 minutes. So he would go one direction for 15 minutes, go flip it around, and go the other direction for 15 minutes. And he did that for 4 hours. And he created an oriented lake. He created an oriented pond, which is really what they were trying to do. They were trying to say that the Carolina Bays are oriented lakes, which we do find oriented lakes, like I mentioned earlier, in places like Alaska, in the Arctic Circle, where we have the Arctic Ocean blowing directional winds over thermokarst ponds and thermokarst lakes, which are, for the lakes that form on top of the permafrost up there. And that water swirls around, and it kind of creates an elliptical shape. They're definitely not mathematically elliptical. They're more oval shaped. And I do have some examples of those we can look at later on if we have time. But they're definitely not Carolina Bays. They're not that mathematically elliptical shape. And they don't have the raised rims. There's just so much about them that aren't the same. But regardless, that's what this guy, his name's Ray Kalzaworski, in his 1977 dissertation paper was trying to do. His doctoral board was like, "Yeah, you did a good job. Good job. Here's your doctorate. So you can go on to work in the field of geology." I'm pretty sure he went to go work for the oil and gas industry, which most geologists do.
Yes.
Right. And he never once went back to looking at Carolina Bays. He was like, yeah, "I'm done with that. Y'all take it."
There's no money in the bays.
No.
That's right. This is your problem. But honestly, I mean, that is the last time that anything has been done to promote a aeolian and lacustrine, which is wind and water, formation for these Carolina Bays. And this is where everything that we're talking about today goes back to. And it's really kind of silly. It's never been peer reviewed. It was, the amount of scientific variables, the amount of environmental variables for just one pond of water to be swirled around and to create a perfect ellipse is I mean, it's got to be way up there. And we find thousands and thousands and thousands of them. In fact, right now, if you read like Wikipedia, which is terrible, but if you read Wikipedia, they say there's like 500,000 of these Carolina Bays. But really, the true number is closer to around 80,000. Really probably closer to 70,000, because there's a couple landforms that have been included in with the Ovoid Basin Survey, which used to be the Carolina Bay Survey. But those are the amount of bays that have been like physically touched with a computer mouse and shaped and directed
Yeah.
So it's a far fewer number than you would find in off of Wikipedia. But
I mean, if this hypothesis was correct, the sort of wind and water erosion,
yeah.
would you not expect to find bays on the east coast of America or in the UK? Because I think the ice sheet extended across the UK. Would you not find them in Russia, or was there an ice?
I feel like, I mean, you obviously need unconsolidated sediment. That's where we find these Carolina bays. Unconsolidated just means that it's not sticking together. So like sand is a really good unconsolidated sediment. In the east coast of the U.S., we have the coastal plain, which is basically ancient seafloors and beaches and things like that. And so we have a lot of unconsolidated sediment that these Carolina bays formed into. But you're right; it seems like we would find them in a lot of locations, across Europe and Russia. They do find some oriented lakes in Russia, which a lot of people are like, oh, that's just, you're looking at these oriented lakes. But the conditions aren't the same. They're really not. You need permafrost, for instance, for these thermokarst lakes to form. And there has never been a documented case of permafrost in the places where we find most of these Carolina bays, like North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. That's way too far away from the ice caps for permafrost to have ever formed. And there's it's not documented at all ever. So, I mean, why that's the most common explanation is still beyond me. I don't understand it. So go ahead.
No, don't carry on, Chris. It's all right.
So what we think happened was that there was an impact that took place. Basically back in the 1930s, that's what got everybody excited, right? They saw all these elliptical depressions and they immediately went to cosmic impacts.
Wow.
But what they were thinking back then was that these were all individual impacts. They were all basically we crossed paths with a meteor shower and they just were popping off left and right and causing all of these craters. And which would be horrific if that were to be what actually happened. But they went out looking for evidence of it. They went looking for the shock quartz and they went looking for the meteor fragments and things like that. And they never did come across anything. And that's when the wind and water explanation kind of took over. They were basically, it's a fallacy for them to say, well, since we didn't find any meteor impacts, therefore it has to be wind and water. We have to go with the long-term, explanation for the Carolina bays. And that's what they did, back in the 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s. And, and it wasn't until we had this technology now where we can look at the Carolina bays with that, with that precision that we're seeing them in and able to look back and say, no, there has to be another explanation. It was likely catastrophic. It was likely cosmic related. And what we think now is that there was an impact, at least a really large impact, into an ice sheet over Michigan. And it was the secondary fragments of ice that were launched from that original impact that were sent up into the atmosphere and came crashing back down into places like North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and then places like Nebraska and Kansas on the other side of the continent. So that's where we're looking at now. Now, the big question then is, when did this happen? Because that's you're going to find a lot of people that just don't agree about a lot of this stuff. Because for a long time it was the catastrophism versus the uniformitarianism, and they didn't agree with that about anything. And so now, even with the catastrophists, myself included, we think that this was a catastrophic impact, but then it comes down to when did it happen? And, there's a couple good scenarios of when it could have happened, and we kind of need to dial it in and
right.
find some.
So, I mean, the first thought that I have is the Younger Dryas boundary event, which has gained steam over the last sort of 15, 20 years, I guess, since that first paper was released in, I don't know when it was, 2007 maybe?
That's it, yep, 2007, yep.
Firestone and West, was it, I think?
That's right, yeah. And George Howard was on that one too.
He was.
Yeah, the Cosmic Dusk, he was there. He's been along this whole ride. And it was actually the the Carolina Bays that brought him into it. He was, really big into Carolina Bays when he first discovered them, working at the U.S. Senate and doing some work for the senator that he worked for. And they pull out these topo maps, which is what they had at the time. We had these topographic maps of places in places like North and South Carolina, and they all had these elliptical rings on the maps themselves. And that's what caused George to ask the question, well, what are these? And the old senator remembered from the 30s when they were basically saying, hey, this is probably a catastrophic event, and so George's like, really, and so that got him kind of excited. And as he went further and further down that rabbit hole, that's when the common research groups started contacting him, and he got brought into the fold. And he always called the Carolina Bays kind of the kooky caboose of the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, because they really don't like it. The common research group do not like including the Carolina Bays. Yeah, they have never. In fact, that original 2007 paper had the Carolina Bays in it from Firestone West, and it was the other members that were like, we're not gonna go along with this unless you take the Carolina Bays out of it.
Wow.
And they're like, okay, yeah, they were like, okay, fine, we don't need it, let's just continue without them.
Is that because they're married to the standard explanation for the bays?
Well, because of tying them two together, it adds a lot of confusion, and we'll talk a little bit more about it here in a minute, because I now agree with those common research group members that wanted to remove them from the Younger Dryas story, because I don't think they belong. I don't think they're part of the same story.
Okay.
So that's kind of a big thing. The last time you had Antonio Zamora on, that he's a big proponent for the Carolina Bays being part of the Younger Dryas impact event. And I've seen firsthand how negative and how ugly some of these common research group members can be by linking those two together. Yeah, they really, really don't like it.
Well, I mean, to me, supporting evidence for that would be that the Younger Dryas was a huge climatic event. We had a massive... It was a catastrophic temperature fluctuation that lasted over 1,000 years, didn't it? It got really, really cold. It seems that something happened then outside of normal operating procedures, and the cosmic impact seems to be a likely culprit.
Right. Yeah, because nobody debates that the Younger Dryas happened. Like, that's the Younger Dryas is, like, as you mentioned, it's a climatic problem. We did drop temperatures back into ice age conditions for 1,200 years. That happened, and you're right. It does seem like something very sudden and very catastrophic could be the explanation for that. And for a long time, we've been trying to avoid that. And I think that's the pushback that the Comet Research Group gets is they're finding evidence for a cosmic impact. But for years and years, you've had these people that have been putting out information that kind of that doesn't even contradict it. They just try to ignore it. They don't include it, right? So now that we're finding more and more evidence of a catastrophic event, that's why that has not fully been accepted yet, because there's still so much pushback just for that, And then when you include a major impact, because really right now the Younger Dryas, the Comet Research Group, is basically saying that they're finding a lot of evidence of multiple impacts. This wasn't one big catastrophic event, but it was like us going through a really exaggerated portion of the Taurid meteor stream, which normally we would see shooting stars. Normally we go through it twice a year, and we can go outside and we can see the shooting stars, and everybody's like ooh and ah, and wishing upon a star and all that kind of stuff. But what they're saying is, like, we were going through a super dense portion of this, and it wasn't ooh and on. It was like, holy crap, there were huge explosions, and it was literally flattening villages and forests, and it's ironic because we do include this type of event in a lot of our historical like cultural stories, things like the biblical stories and all that. It includes them. If you look at most of the Native American their stories, they include some drastic event that took place, at some time. We have the Halloween, we have the Day of the Dead, and we have all of these different events that all, occur around the same time, where we're not really celebrating death, but we're like remembering that it happened.
Yeah.
And we still do it today. We're still doing it. So it is kind of ironic that we tend to ignore that as a possibility, when it's probably the most plausible explanation is that, yes, we went through a really dense portion of it. It caused a traumatic amount of stress on the environments. There were probably minor impacts on top of the lowering tide ice sheet that caused it to drastically melt quickly, and that's where the floodwaters came from that rushed into the North Atlantic that cut off the global circulation of like the Gulf Stream and caused us to go back into an ice age for 1,200 years.
Yeah.
That's so there's a lot of good evidence for that, and that's what Antonio Zamora jumped on. He saw that and was like, well, then of course this is what caused the Carolina Bays to form. This is what happened. There had to have been an impact. We're looking at North America. There's lots of evidence. They're finding platinum and microspherules and microdiamonds and all kinds of proxy that indicate a cosmic event. Of course, the Carolina Bays are related to that, right?
You would think, Chris, that it's
Right.
intuitive, isn't it? And
It is.
another point to raise maybe is that, for the hypothesis to stand, the impact has to happen into an ice sheet. So that suggests that this event that caused the bays has to have happened during an ice age or during a glacial maximum, not when the ice has receded.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 And that's an important point, and that's why the Younger Dryas for a Carolina Bay formation was like a sexy topic. It was something that was like, that makes a lot of sense. And I was on board with Antonio. In fact, when you had him, I don't know if I was anymore, but before that, for 4 or 5 years, I was like, I've been in this, doing it for about 10 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, and for like the first 4 or 5 years, I was totally on board with Antonio's meth. In fact, that's why I started making videos of my own, was to support Antonio Zamora and Michael Davies and some of these other guys that have been in it for longer than I have been. And so Antonio, you guys had him on. He has kind of has English is his second language, and he likes to like really script out his videos. And so when he has like a one-on-one, he has a little bit more of a difficult time. He actually doesn't really enjoy doing podcasts. It's kind of, he doesn't like being put on the spot, and he wants to be able to think about his responses, and he doesn't have a lot of time to do that. And in fact, this past when you called me or when you first reached out, I was at the Cosmic Summit with Antonio. He was with me. I invited him to come and speak with me this year, and we were basically going to talk about the Carolina Bays, especially the things that we do agree with. Because that's important, even though I don't agree with him fully anymore, and we could discuss why I don't agree with him anymore, but it was a good idea for us to get together and talk about what we do agree with. In fact, we wrote a paper, and we had that paper published in the Journal of Environmental and Earth Sciences. It went out literally a couple days before the Cosmic Summit, which was really important because that's why we did it, was to have something more substantial to take with us to the stage. And we spent 8 months working on this paper together. Like I said, really focusing on what we agree with, which is that these Carolina Bays are really elliptical shaped. He came up with a really unique way to prove that. We put it in paper form. We published it and went through a peer review process and everything, and we were able to publish it. And so it was a really big deal for us to be able to do that. But like I said, we don't agree with the timing.
Right. Yeah. Before we get on to the when, you've mentioned a couple of times about the importance of the elliptical shape, like a true ellipse. Could you explain what that means, why that's significant, and how you can sort of prove that?
Yeah, well, so first of all, for something to form a geometric ellipse, that would be very difficult to do using gradualistic processes. Even when we look at these oriented lakes like the thermokarst lakes or some of the other ones, that requires a long period of time. And for that to happen every single time, for the thousands and thousands of these elliptical shapes that we find in the landscapes, it's almost ridiculous. It just can't happen. A lot of scientists don't like it when I say that, that it's impossible. Like I literally say, like, it's impossible. That can't happen. And they get really angry about that. But it's like, you couldn't do it even under controlled circumstances in a lab in 1977, and it's never been done since. So why is that what we
Right.
go back to every time?
So
Where
is a did you see a geometrical ellipse? Is that a certain, like a defined shape? Is that like a mathematical constant sort of thing? Right.
Yeah. It's we can. So what we're doing is we're going and finding a good Carolina Bay that's well formed, and we mark all around it. Like we have to have. I think we only need like five, but we mark like a dozen different places all the way around the rim of the Carolina Bay,
Yeah.
and then send it through. We use the least squares method, which basically just fits that what we marked with an ellipse, and then it places that ellipse on top of the Carolina Bay, and they match every single time. And it's a really
Wow.
simple way to do it. Length to width relationships, ratios. That's another way to do it. That's even easier. It's just a way to prove that these things are over and over and over again. They're perfectly elliptical. The reason why that's important is because an ellipse is one of the conic sections of a flat plane, and the coastal plain is fairly flat, right? So we have this unconsolidated flat terrain in the east coast of the United States and in Nebraska. And an object entering that flat plane creates a conic section. And like I said, there's only four of them: a circle, a parabola, I forget the third one, but then the last one is an ellipse, which basically is, an object entering forms a perfect ellipse. And so if we could prove that these things are perfectly mathematically elliptical, then that's more evidence that these things had to be impact related. It's something going into an unconsolidated sediment to form that ellipse, and we find it over and over and over again. And then there are some that are a little bit different. They're not quite as perfectly elliptical. In fact, the ones that you guys have in your intro, they're more like guitar pick shaped, which is a little different from the perfect elliptical shapes that we see in these really flat terrain. But the reason why they're so guitar pick shaped is because that area is on a more severe incline, and so the settling of the sediment causes the top of it to flatten a little bit, and that gives it that guitar pick shape form. So again, it's very easy to explain away, why the few that aren't perfectly elliptical aren't perfectly elliptical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus saying that they were all ponds. If you go back to those pictures, you say, they would have to all be ponds of water at the perfect elevation, and then the same amount of wind, the same directions, the same everything has to be exactly identical for that to form over and over and over again. We find circular shaped depressions in Florida. And they're usually full of water. They're sinkholes, and they're formed from the limestone dissolving out underneath the ground, and then the ground caving in, and that forms, sometimes anyways, it forms a perfect circle. And if there are two of those that form side by side, like, people go crazy. They're like, they give them names. They're twin lakes and this, that, and the other, and they build homes, and
Yeah.
everybody's out skiing on them and things like that. And here we have thousands and thousands and thousands of these elliptical, perfectly elliptical, identical shaped depressions all over the East Coast. And most people have never even heard of them. Like you said, you don't really notice them unless you have the tools to notice them. You could drive in and out of these Carolina Bays. I live on the East Coast, and just driving up to the Cosmic Summit, I went past the hundreds and hundreds of them, and in and out of them. And, without the tools, you really don't see them.
How does the mainstream explain the ones that overlap?
You got me. Yeah, I really don't know. I don't know.
It's bonkers.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. So.
How is there any way of dating them accurately?
So that makes it, it's hard to date sediment. It's hard to date certain, especially when you're looking at landforms that are in unconsolidated sediment like these are, because the only way, it's kind of like dating a rock. Like, you can't date a rock.
Right.
You can date, like, possibly when the last time that rock saw sunlight. And that's something that we can do in the rims of these Carolina Bays. And that's something that has been done in these rims. And that's why they kind of get, over the past 100,000 years or so, the dates that they get are, Younger Dryas or older to about 100,000 years, because they're using a method called optically stimulated luminescence dating. which is where they can extract sand grains from the ground and detect the last time that sand grain was exposed to sunlight.
Right.
And so they form these columns, and they actually have to take a core sample that goes into the sediment like sideways instead of going up and down. They go into the sediment, and then they have to keep that sediment completely dark until they date it in a dark room. And and that's the only way that they could do it, is to make sure that that couple grains of sand do not get exposed to sunlight. And then they come up with these dates. Now, what I think they're finding is erosional events. I think they're finding the last time that sand was blown around the rims of these Carolina bays. I don't think dating the rims is really helpful, because they are exposed to erosion for a very long period of time. Now, what I think, again, one of the reasons why my dating has changed over the years is because there are other ways that we can date the terrain. Maybe not individual sand grains, but we can date like when the last time, for instance, when the last time sea levels were higher than they were today. And we could do that. We can actually find, like, if you go to the beach today, we have sand dunes, and we have the beach, and the waves are lapping onto the shore, and that's erosion. We have longshore drift and the wave action, and it's basically flattening out the sediment in that area. We can go to the last time that happened when sea levels were higher. And the last time that we had seas about 30 feet higher was around 125,000 years ago. So basically, right here on the coast where I live, I have a creek in my backyard, so that's basically sea level. About 125,000 years ago, the beach was about 30 feet higher. Like the sea level was 30 feet higher than it is today.
Wow.
And we can find the beach that was formed 125,000 years ago. Now, keep in mind that geologically, that wasn't that long ago. That was literally the last time temperatures were as warm as they are today. We went through a whole entire ice age and then came out of it now, at our current interglacial. So I'm talking about the last interglacial. Sea levels were 30 feet higher than they are today, which is, yeah. A lot of people don't realize that. And so when we're arguing about climate change and using fossil fuels and this, that, and the other, and well, how do we explain what happened 125,000 years ago when sea levels were higher than today? It was warmer than it is today, and we weren't driving SUVs or anything like that. So
we might have been.
Maybe
we got wiped out.
Yeah. So anyways, so what I found was the beach that was created 125,000 years ago, there are no Carolina bays below that beach. Like all the way to our current beach, to the last beach, there are no Carolina bays. It's all just flat. And once you go above that, you find Carolina bays. And if you go a little bit higher than that, you find really well-formed Carolina bays. And so we see this like progression of when bays were like formed versus when they could have been eroded versus when they were completely eroded. And so I think that that at least puts the Carolina bays older than the last time sea levels were higher than they are today, which was 125,000 years ago. That's also older than the dates that like these optically stimulated luminescence datings we're getting as well, right? So we're outdating those methods. We can't use carbon anymore. Carbon's only good for around 60,000 years. And we're looking at shorelines that were created 125,000 years ago. Because we go in and out of these ice ages like and I use the term ice age, but they're really glacial cycles. Like we're still in an ice age today, but we're going in and out of glacial cycles. So really the last time the glacial cycle was, at a maximum, was during our most recent ice age. The peak of it was around 25,000 years ago.
Yep.
But 125,000 years ago, we were in an interglacial, and here we are today. And again, if you go back in time, about every 100,000 years, we kind of go in and out of these cycles of glacials and interglacials. And around 400,000 years ago was another interglacial that was warmer than today and warmer than it was 125,000 years ago. And then the last time sea levels were like higher than that was like over 1 million years ago. So what I think that the Carolina Bays had to have formed sometime between 1 million years ago and around 400,000 years ago. And so that puts a way into the Mid-Pliocene time frame, way older than the Younger Dryas. Because keep in mind, if these things formed at the Younger Dryas, that was the coastlines were still way out there,
Right.
way out there from where we see them today. Like we should be able to see the Carolina Bays all the way up to our current coast where the beach is currently eroding them, right?
Wow.
But the fact that we don't find them since the last beach lets us know that they had to have been there when that last beach was formed 125,000 years ago. And I do think there's evidence to say or to show that they were there when they were formed 400,000 years ago, or when that beach was formed at 400,000 years ago, but not older than a million years ago, which is when all of this whole area was underwater. So I think that points us to a mid-Pleistocene age. And the only other group of people that have been doing research into Carolina Bays, besides Antonio Zamora, is a group. It's Michael Davies and his research partner Tim Harris, and they have determined that the Carolina Bays were formed around the mid-Pleistocene transition, which was around 786,000 years ago. And that seems crazy. Like it seems like really old, like a long, long, long time ago. But there is a cosmic event that took place at that time. And we know this because we find the tektites that were formed from this impact. Basically, there was an impact on Earth. And have you guys ever heard of the AA tektites?
No.
Do you know what a tektite is?
No.
So basically, if we have an impact, the ejected like sand material melts. It completely melts and turns into glass. And that glass can come raining back down into the earth. So it's basically terrestrial formed meteorites, but they're not meteors. They're not from outer space. They're from the earth.
Wow.
Right. So basically sandstones get so hot after the impact that they melt. The molten droplets are ejected into the air. They solidify and they come back down, as these little black or green. We have some really cool green ones here in Georgia. That formed from the Chesapeake Bay impact, which
So
happened.
These are different from the macrospherules, are they?
Sort of, yeah. So imagine them just being a lot bigger.
Right, got you. Yeah.
Because you're gonna find. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, how big are they? The tektites.
I actually have a couple of them, but they're
Right.
they could be. Usually they're about this big. The ones I have are about that big. Sometimes they're disc shaped, a little bit bigger, and then there's small ones, but we find them all over Asia and Australia, which is the complete opposite side of the world. But that's kind of important because it's exactly the opposite side of the world. It's the antipod of Michigan. So whatever event took place was huge. I mean, this would have been we're talking about Carolina Bays being formed. These gigantic. They're not small. We just saw some pictures of them, right? They're not small. These things are like a couple miles wide or long. And so whatever created them had to have been a major event. And that's another reason why I kind of moved away from the Younger Dryas, because yes, that was a big event, but we're not talking about like dinosaur extinction events, kind of an impact. And to be quite honest, I think that the impact that happened over Michigan would have been on par with like a Chicxulub dinosaur killer, but
Right.
the biggest difference, because again, for the Carolina Bays to have been formed, this would have made a major deal. But the biggest difference was that the impactor hit, a couple miles of ice instead of a shallow sea, which is what basically took out the dinosaurs. We had tsunamis and we had blackout conditions, and all kinds of stuff, and so we had total shutdowns of ecosystems, and that was what took them out. This one, on the other hand, hit a couple miles of ice, and that impact was absorbed into the ice, and the Carolina Bays were created. But anyways, on the other side of the planet, we have these AA tektites. We also have a major benthic foraminifera mass extinction that took place at the time.
It's going to be my next question. That evidence of mass extinctions at this point.
Yeah. So we find these are microscopic, like bottom dwelling or organisms. So
Right.
I think we got to catch up with some of the other macro animals that could have gone extinct at that time. We do see evidence of our own near extinction. Remember, this is around 786,000 years ago that this would have taken place. This is the exact same time that we think the Neanderthals and the Homo sapiens split from a common ancestor. So right then is when we see a split, and Neanderthals went their direction, Homo sapiens went our direction, and it usually for things like that to take place, like it's going to be a major event, it's going to be an extinction level event, and it's the survivors that are able to breed and produce later on, and we come from a long line of survivors, like for reals.
Yeah.
We can go all the way back.
Yeah, I remember 2020.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So,
is there anything in the temperature records, like in the Greenland ice cores, that highlights this event?
so ironically, that's about when they start, around 800,000.
Typical.
About 800. I know exactly. Yeah. So Greenland, that ice sheet has come and gone a few times in the past, and so I can't remember how far back that one goes. I want to say it's like I want to say 300,000 years, but I could be off on that. The Antarctica ice goes back around 800,000 years, and we're looking at an event that took place around that time, 786,000 years. So, I don't know if they're related or not, but that's where we get the MIS stages, the marine oxygen isotope stages that kind of show us that we come in and out of ice ages, and that changed right when I'm talking right at the Mid-Pliocene transition. That's a change of us going in and out of ice age every 40,000 years or so to stretching it out to be 100,000 years or so. So something big happened during that time. Yeah. Yeah. Like we're literally talking about changes to the Milankovitch cycle. Like you get data with a big space rock and it causes the Earth to flinch, and we're still recovering from that, And that's what caused the ice ages to stretch out to 100,000 years, which causes us to accumulate more ice on top of the poles. That adds all kinds of, us going.
Would that suggest getting colder maximums and then warmer interglacials, because the dynamic's been, the timeline's been stretched. Yeah.
Yep. So
That's
there's
major.
So major, and I think that we're just now starting to understand that this is what happened, and I think the Carolina Bays are part of that story. So that's why I don't think that they're Younger Dryas in age anymore, and I'm leaning more towards a Mid-Pliocene transition time frame, which was promoted. This is not my idea. It was promoted from Michael Davies and Tim Harris. And that's from them looking at the tektites. Like I said, they're exact opposite ends of the world, which you would expect from a major impact like that. And Tim Harris is he used to work for Lockheed Martin and Boeing. He's a mechanical engineer. He worked on airplanes and stuff like that. But they were using the same ballistic trajectory physics that like ballistic missiles, are used, and he was actually able to backtrack the Carolina Bays where we find them now to where they formed, and it all points back to Michigan. It all points right back to Michigan. And I don't know if you've ever seen the Michigan Basin. I have a picture of it on slide 13.
All right.
But yeah,
I'll pull it up.
It's the next slide. Just click on the next slide.
Where am I? 13. Here we go.
Yeah. So this this tells the whole story.
Right.
This is one slide right here, where we have the Carolina Bays on one side and we have the Nebraska rainwater basins. But that picture of the ringed, that's the ringed bedrock of Michigan. So literally, I think that this event took place onto an ice sheet directly above the mitten, which is ironic too, that it is shaped like a catcher's mitt. This thing came right in. The ice absorbed most of the impact, and the bedrock beneath it is completely ringed. To me, it looks like a bullseye. It is a bullseye of this primary impact that would have created. So when they're trying to find a crater, that's it. This is what we're left with now after 7 or 8 ice ages. Because if this happened during the Mid-Pleistocene, like we said, it stretched ice ages out by about 100,000 years. That's 7 or 8 ice age cycles ago, where we had the Laurentide ice sheet stretch down into the U.S. and then, North America, and then pull back and stretch down and then retreat and stretch down, and that scouring just takes it all away. It just completely erases most of your evidence.
I've got to. The question that springs to mind is what is the size of that Michigan basin, and is there any way to calculate the size of the impactor, taking into account the ice sheet above it, to try and get an idea of?
Well, so what Antonio Zamora, and he did this a long time ago, and it was basically using the size of the Carolina Bays and the Nebraska rainwater basins, and taking it backwards, like going at a backwards approach of, we have these shapes, how big would the primary impactor have had to have been? And he came up with like this crazy, 11 kilometer, like a primary impactor of about and he kind of like disregarded it, like it was like something he posted and then he never came back to it again. And I was like, that's actually makes a lot of sense that this thing would have been about the same, because that's about the same size as the one that took out the dinosaurs. And I already mentioned that I think that this would have been an impact event very similar to the one that took out the dinosaurs, with the exception that this one hit that ice sheet and that saved us. That's literally why we're still here, is because of that ice sheet over Michigan. And and in fact, there was another picture up in the other corner of that mosaic that had it's an anomaly. It's a gravity anomaly that basically shows that the Michigan basin has the same gravitational anomaly as the Chicxulub crater. Like it's whatever formed that. Yeah,
gravitation. This isn't Star Trek. A gravitational anomaly. Is that? I didn't even know that was even a thing.
Yeah, why is
that?
They.
Yep. So this was in a paper not too long ago. So we can check that one out some other time. But like I said, if we look at Chicxulub, which is the crater that took out the dinosaurs and down in the Yucatan of Mexico. It's about the same size, and it's the gravitational anomaly is almost identical, and so we find a lot of similarities. But again, if you ask any like Michigan geologists, they will scoff at this idea. They'll scoff at the fact that Carolina Bays could have been formed by an impact over Michigan. That's always been there like that. It's the Ice Age. The glaciers that formed the Great Lakes. It's not some impact thing. But when you start looking at it and you start looking at all the different, the clues that we have, it's starting to look like there could have been at least enough information or enough evidence to suggest it and have more people look into it. So I don't know.
Something else what's Saginaw Bay? Is that
Saginaw?
Right?
Yeah. So Saginaw Bay is basically like the crook of Michigan. It's the place between the pointer finger and the thumb of the Michigan mitten.
Right.
But that's So basically they think that formed as a lobe of the Laurentide ice sheet, scoured it away. But Michael Davies and Tim Harris, they think that that's the actual crater, like that's the actual impact site of the Carolina Bay forming impact. They don't include the Michigan Basin, like that's just something that I've included. Right. But they think that the impactor was around a 3-kilometer impact into Saginaw Bay instead of an 11-kilometer impact over Michigan, the ice sheet over Michigan. They think that this was an impact into Saginaw Bay, and that's the missing portion of Saginaw Bay is where those AA tektites came from. And that does actually make sense because that is all sandstone. It's all like the parent material is sandstone, and these AA tektites are created from sandstone of Jurassic age, which is actually the missing portion of sandstone from Saginaw. They're missing the Jurassic age sandstones. So it makes sense. Yeah, the chemical chemistry of the rocks match Michigan. So there's the timing matches up too, and there's just a lot to it that all the arrows are pointing back, not just the Carolina Bays and Nebraska rainwater basins that are pointed back saying, ooh, we got the A tektites and all kinds of other pieces of evidence.
Make sure you take your umbrella out with you.
Yeah.
And these 4-inch tektites are raining down.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I mean, this raises a question. I imagine a lot of the Cosmic Summit researchers are kind of a bit annoyed with you because, like, the main crux of the argument is a comet or fragments of a comet hitting the ice sheets, melting the water, and starting the Younger Dryas. Do you still buy that? Because, you know, the Carolina Bay seems like quite a strong supporting evidence for that.
Yeah. Well, and that's that. This is a really good point too, because I don't want to take away from the Younger Dryas and the work that they have been doing. The Comet Research Group has been doing. I said the only people that are really annoyed with me even talking about the Carolina Bays are the Comet Research Group members.
Right.
Like, and they get really upset. Like, I had a phone call and all kinds of stuff after the Cosmic Summit from some key members of the Comet Research Group, really irritated that I'm even bringing it up. You know, and I'm like, look, I'm on your side. I'm trying to remove the Carolina Bays from the Younger Dryas story because I think that by removing them, you're actually strengthening both cases, right? Because there's a lot of people that look at the Comet Research Group and look at the work that they're doing, and then they see that the Carolina Bays are included, and that it's done. They're like, oh, I'm you know, that didn't happen, so therefore the Younger Dryas wasn't, you know, impact related. And I don't think that's true. I think there is plenty of evidence to suggest that there was an impact event that took place 13,000 years ago, 12,900 years ago. But what the Comet Research Group is finding now is like, and this supports the you know, the Carolina Bays being a part of an older event, is that this was, well, we already talked about it, that it was like a out of control meteor shower. It wasn't one big impact. Like the Carolina Bays, that had to have been formed from a major impact over Michigan. Like that's the only way. If it wasn't wind and water, that's the only way that it could have happened, right? And I've you know, think that wind and water is just a ridiculous way to suggest that they all were formed that way, right? So it had to have been a major impact. The Younger Dryas event looks like it was a multiple events. You know, there were lots of smaller impacts, but still like regionally damaging. And there may have been a couple onto the ice sheet that create a lot of this melting. Randall Carlson has actually been doing a lot of good work into that area of Canada, and he's located a couple probable locations for smaller impacts that have taken place. We just had the Comet Research Group just had a paper that went out last month, I think, where they found a site down in Louisiana that looks like there was a bolide event. You know, bolides are when basically they're shooting stars that are a lot closer to the Earth. They're bigger. They can flatten forest, and that's like the Tunguska event that happened in 1908, and we had one in Chelyabinsk that happened in 2012 that like shattered all this glass from buildings over Russia and injured about 1,700 people. But you know, we don't see it very often, but this would have been a time where we would have seen quite a bit of it. But again, not a major like singular impact like we see that would, I think, need to be required for a Carolina Bay forming event. So anyways, I don't want to take away from the Younger Dryas. I think that happened, and I think that it happened the way that the Comet Research Group is presenting it. You know, but then when people like Antonio that wants to include the Younger Dryas as a possible impact, then you get a lot of pushback from both directions, right? And so then nothing happens, nothing gets done. I think by separating them, it strengthens both the Younger Dryas, right? The Younger Dryas impact hypothesis and the Comet Research Group. And I think that it strengthens a formation for the Carolina Bays by pushing them back to the Mid-Pliocene transition, because there's a lot of evidence for that, right? So there's evidence for both. But if you continue to mix the two together, then it muddies the water and nothing gets done. Nothing can get accomplished. So
I think the Comet Research Group is finding impact proxies all over the place, aren't they? Like as far south as Tierra del Fuego and in Eurasia as well, I think, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty much everywhere they've looked, they have found it. Yeah.
So that suggests that, like you said, multiple impacts probably happening over an extended period for all we know, maybe years. This could have been going on for.
That's what they're saying. Yeah, that this would have been a really dense portion of the Laurentide ice sheet, and that we go through it twice a year. And if we're going through that dense location and it stretches out 10 years, 100 years, you know, and geologically speaking, that could have happened. So it could have happened the entire Younger Dryas time frame, that 1,200 years. The problem is that they do find evidence at a certain point, 12,800 and 86 years or something like that. Like they find a lot of evidence. So there was definitely a major event that took place at that time to create the dusting of platinum and things like that they find. But
the black
yeah,
mat.
for sure.
George talks about
Exactly.
the black mat, doesn't he? And they find the improts is in the black mat and above, but never not below.
Exactly.
Which suggests like a triggering event. It's so fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was glad I wasn't around when it was happening.
But you know, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, is like your ancestors were around. Like mine were, yours were. You know, everybody that's alive on the planet today, we're at the end of a long chain of survivors that have survived all of these events. You know, and that's a pretty special thing. I think we're part of the story. You know, and so I think if we kind of view life that way, you know, it makes things a little better.
Yeah. What's like in the future? What's the sort of cutting edge stuff that's been done? Like new opportunities to research this sort of stuff. Is there any new technologies on the horizon or new techniques?
Yeah, I think AI is going to be able to do a lot of the painstaking work that we've been doing.
You'll have to double check it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. But just like I was saying earlier, you know, using that least squares method to prove that these Carolina bays are elliptical, you know, it takes forever. You know, you have to sit there and you have to mark 12 locations and copy and paste each of their Latin longs into this program, and then you have to run the program, and there's just so many steps involved with it. And nowadays, like, well, I shouldn't say nowadays because it hasn't been done yet, but you know, somebody who's really good at using AI can just say, hey, this is what I need you to do. You know, here's the map, and just do it. And then it'll, you know, in a couple of minutes, it spits out everything that would have taken us weeks to do. You know, so I think that's going to be a big thing. AI, I think a lot of the satellite technology, you know, the LiDAR, I feel like it shouldn't be long before we have access to like really good satellite-based LiDAR. Because right now we're still using LiDAR from airplanes. Like they're sending lasers down from airplanes to you know, show us the ground cover. And it shouldn't be long until we have like satellites doing this, and we're able to and that's not just for Carolina Bays, like for any of the archaeological research, we should have the entire planet LiDAR for sure. There's so many things that we could find, you know, using LiDAR onto the ground. And now they've got the stuff, the guys that are down in Egypt, where they're using the scanning technology to detect under the pyramids and all that stuff that they're finding. I mean, it's incredible, some of the things that we're seeing.
What do you make of that, Chris? Those pillars. I'm so totally skeptical on all that. It seems too wacky.
Yeah, and I was there. Like I said, I was at the Cosmic Summit when they were presenting that stuff. Those guys were there. Yeah, and there was, you know, the excitement was cool. You know, everyone was excited. You know, they had a big press conference for these guys. We're talking about the two Italians that were I can't remember the names, but anyways, it's exciting. I'm still on the fence to see what you know, because it's going to take groundproofing. It's going to take somebody to go down there and actually, you know, drill and see what's actually underneath these things, and if they're even allowed to do it. It could just be, you know. It could just end with this, you know, like, well, that's a cool idea, but we don't have any evidence. So,
yes, might be a bit of a stretch to drill underneath the
good luck,
maybe.
Good luck getting permission to drill underneath the pyramids, man. Yeah, no chance. That's a massive bribe.
Okay. Well, but for what I understand, there's like tunnels and stuff all under there, anyways, and so you know, I think. Hearing from stories from some of the people that have been in and out of that part of Egypt for you know, the past century, like their grandparents were like going through all these tunnels and stuff, and you know, then they were all cut off, and I think so a lot of the stuff has been flooded out now because of damming, and I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, Chris, we've done over an hour already.
Yes,
we're gonna have to let you go.
All right, Pete. Well, and I was late too, guys. You know, you didn't bring it up, but I'll bring it up.
It's no problem.
I put us off about a half an hour, but
the stuff you mentioned about the shorelines and the ancient shorelines, that's really compelling to me. It's something I haven't heard before, and
no Carolina bays below them, with the exception of a few places. If you go to like New Jersey or the Delmarva Peninsula. They find some Carolina bays that are between 30 feet and the sea level, but that area is sinking. It's been slowly sinking. So there's a reason. Again, if it's much easier to explain away something like that than it is to say, why don't we not find them all the way to the shoreline?
Yeah.
You know, because right now we should see Carolina bays all the way to the beach that is now being eroded, and we don't. So that has to put them into an older category. Whether it's mid-Pleistocene in age or not, it has to be older than the Younger Dryas. So
Fantastic.
Yeah, great.
Well, at Dabbler's Den on YouTube if you want to
yes,
keep tabs on Chris. You're on Twitter as well?
yeah, same. Yep.
Same
That was,
handle, yeah.
Chris.
Thanks for your time. Really appreciate
thank
it.
you.
I'll drop you an email tomorrow and we'll take it from there. But it's been great. Really enjoyed you listening to your perspective. I hope everyone watching at home has.
Definitely.
Had lots of people in the chat talking about massive ice cubes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And stay tuned. I think we'll keep this stream running and we'll just do it once Chris is gone. We'll do a bit of housekeeping and then sign off for the night.
I think so.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Stay tuned, folks. We'll keep the stream running. And thanks again to Chris. And make sure you follow him on YouTube and Twitter and everywhere else. Thanks a lot,
for having
Chris.
me, guys.
Yeah, take
Yeah,
care.
thanks.
Bye-bye.
See you in a bit. Bye. Wonderful.
on Earth.
What's he saying?
He senses an evil presence.
He senses an evil presence?
Yes.
Who could that be?
Which 3 months of the year begin with the letter J? Think before you answer.
January. June. July.
Fuck Graham Hancock. Oh, can I say that?
First on BBC One.
Do you like it?
Are we playing an intro?
An intro?
Since you said you're deleting this anyway.
What intro?
Saying we're back.
Saying what?
That we're back.
The dwarf, the cripple, and the mother of madness.
Right.
You need.
Welcome back.
If you've been hot, then what you used to do is put the fader down, so it missed one person.
I did used to do that. Gosh, yeah. Right then, we're back.
The dwarf and the mother of madness.
Oh, I still got it. Amish Phil still got it, man.
Limp Dick City.
Good, well remembered. Crikey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I forgot Ben weren't here. Dear. Yeah, we're back. If you just joined us, just had a really cool chat with Chris Cottrell.
Really groovy.
Yeah, Dabbler's Den on YouTube and Twitter.
Elliptical, you might say.
Yeah, those bays certainly are. Yeah, it's a fascinating topic, isn't it?
Yeah, terrifying to think about.
Oh, Zamora scared the shit out of me. He's talking about these Yankee Stadium-sized ice cubes raining from the sky.
Yeah, he did say that, didn't
Forever.
Forever.
Forever, for an extended period.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. But, Chris is like, well, not the same time.
Yeah.
This happened earlier and...
yeah.
Essentially, I think Chris is arguing before Homo sapiens because he mentioned the split. Oh, well, no, I think we were there maybe. Or
At the point of the split, he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, our ancestors were there. They survived, as he said. So, I don't know. It's one of these. It's cutting edge sort of stuff. This whole Younger Dryas thing is still the mainstream is still trying to argue against it.
Yeah.
With refutations followed by counter refutations.
Refutations.
It's been going on for decades.
Yeah.
Because there's, I think Chris mentioned it early on, this sort of war between catastrophism and gradualism.
Yes,
The earth is formed one grain of sand at a time, one drop of water at a time, whereas the catastrophists say, yes, that is correct, but it's punctuated with massive smacks.
Yes.
And, cataclysmic events that happen, periodically. And just so happens we have these meteor showers that we go through. We're coming to the end of we're going through the Taurids, and the peak of the Taurids about a month from now. Just
Cross
over a
your
month from
fingers.
now. Halloween.
Yeah.
Evil things in the sky.
Yes.
Not on broomsticks, but
Well,
maybe.
who knows what came flying down. And a good reminder as well about sea levels.
Yeah, 30 feet higher
30 feet higher, yeah.
during the last glacial minimum.
Yes.
Because, we were just sort of coming out of the last ice age. We were just starting to
Getting
warm.
smacked.
And then that's when the Younger Dryas hit and the temperature just drops like a cliff.
Yeah.
With like a nuclear winter type scenario. And we're coming back up. We're warming again.
Yes.
Thank goodness. Because humans do better when it's warm.
Yes.
Believe it or not. It's better to be
Warm and toasty.
You can always move a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this place where we're sat was covered in ice 20,000 years ago.
I think it was around about this area, wasn't it? Where
It stretched as far south as England, I think.
yeah,
Didn't it?
about this way.
Yeah.
About us.
And yet, in the Roman warm period, you could grow some damn fine grapes for wine in southern England
Exactly, yeah.
without greenhouses, because they didn't have greenhouses.
No, yes.
But, that's overcomplicating things.
Poppycock.
Pay your climate tax, for fuck's sake.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that would...
Ed Miliband's going to fix it.
Has he got on board with nuclear yet, Ed Miliband?
No. There has been rumblings of small modular nukes, hasn't there?
Right, okay.
But it's not going to stop the subsidies and the... the reason why our energy bills are so expensive these days.
Oh, I know, yeah. It's awful, isn't it?
Yeah. If only we'd have, done something like what Norway did and took all that, exploited all those resources and put them somewhere safe. For safekeeping for a rainy day which is about to appear.
Yes.
Economically.
Yes, that would have been handy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we're up shit creek
Mm.
as far as the economy is concerned, it seems, at the moment. I don't watch trigonometry, really. You know that podcast, don't you?
I'm familiar with Constantine and the other guy. What's his name?
That's a really good question, that is, right?
Yes.
Because
and
my mum's from Venezuela.
I was just going to say. He's got a Venezuelan mother.
Yeah.
And Constantine is...
Francis,
Francis.
that's the other chap.
And Constantine is Jewish? Is he?
Yeah.
From
Is that
Ukraine?
relevant?
Yeah, because he talks about that all the time.
Does
as
he?
well.
His
Yeah.
Jewishness.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he's Russian, I think. No? Part Russian, maybe?
I don't
Part
know.
Ukrainian?
It says from Ukraine.
They had some sort of black-pilled economist on this week talking about, gilts and UK borrowing costs. And
Oh, I think I listened to this.
we're totally fucked.
Was he the Belgian guy?
Ah, yeah, he had like a French accent, yeah? Oui, oui.
Oh, yeah, we are fucked. Yeah, he was Belgian, wasn't he?
You
Yeah.
listened to it. What did you make of it?
Well, he I can't remember most of it because I was listening to it in about 4 different days.
Yeah, he chunked it.
But it didn't make for sound sleep essentially. It was like on some kind of precipice, wasn't it? And he was talking about, major cuts to everything basically.
Well, he was saying that that's not going to happen.
Well, no, yes, but that would be what he would suggest, wasn't it? Like massive cuts to spending, essentially.
Spending, public services.
Yeah. To pull it all back in order to get the debt under control.
Right, because we spend ungodly amounts of billions of pounds just on interest payments on our national debt.
I think it's 8% of GDP of the budget, not GDP. The budget goes on
Servicing the debt.
and it's not paying the debt off; it's paying the interest, isn't it?
And UK borrowing costs are rising, so
Yes.
that interest payment is going to increase.
Yeah,
Yeah, not good. He was talking about an IMF bailout, wasn't he?
yeah.
About the UK going cap in hand to the IMF, the International Monetary Fund.
Which was, and it was interesting to hear that has happened before. But he said
70s.
Yeah, and he said that they probably wouldn't be able to afford it, basically. The IMF wouldn't be able to fund it if they needed to do it because it's so massive now.
He said that the UK's debt is so big, the IMF won't be able to bail us out.
Yeah.
So we'd be reliant on the private sector
Yeah.
to bail us out.
Yeah.
Which,
Would be interesting, wouldn't it?
yeah, you'd have like, a consortium of space gods like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk
Oh, they'd be licking their lips.
bailing
wouldn't
us out, saying, right, what do we want in return?
they? Yes. Whales?
Oh, they can have it.
Yeah.
They can have whales. It's fine.
Yeah.
No one will miss that.
Yeah. Something desolate like Northumbria or something. I think I might think about... I don't know. Yeah, it's a weird... it was weird. Well, it's not weird because everything, I suppose, on the internet is quite catastrophic, isn't it? When people's opinions and things like that. But, I mean, I'd be all for maybe cutting some costs around, whatever's going to sort of like net zero, essentially. Is it not 20 billion or something a year?
I have no idea what the numbers are.
I know it's like that's a drop in the ocean, isn't it? It's like 1 month's debt interest, maybe, if that, or 1 month's borrowing.
But I understand that it makes our energy bills more, or
Yeah.
the net zero thing. So there's a knock-on effect. If you make energy cheaper,
Yeah.
that makes business cheaper.
Well, yeah.
You-
Manufacturing.
Yeah, you make us more competitive
Mm-hmm.
selling our widgets.
Yeah. Or what does Helen do?
Helen?
Ionizing things. Adonizing or something.
Ionizing.
Something like that, yeah. She uses electrolysis, I think.
Right, with dilithium crystals.
I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
sounds like a
called
good
Scotty
job.
at work.
You can't break the laws of physics, Captain.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll hold it together, Jim, best I can.
This I can.
I don't know. I can't think of any Scotty quotes.
Right, okay. The Klingons on the starboard bow.
There is, yeah.
Right. Okay.
What does he say in that the firm song? So Jim is, we come in peace, shoot to kill, shoot to kill, shoot to kill. McCoy is, it's worse than that. He's dead, Jim.
Dead, Jim. Dead, Jim.
What does Scotty say? You can't break the laws of physics. It is, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I'm having flashbacks to Pontin's 1987.
Oh gosh. Did you get to go
Scarborough.
to the UK parks?
Crocodile Club, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was a Crocodile Club at Pontin's.
We went to stay in a B&B in Blackpool.
Oh, did you?
That was quite often a family holiday.
Wow. Travel far.
Yeah, I mean, because we could travel on the
17 miles.
on the train. It's a long way when you don't have a car as
Yeah.
a family. And it was free as well, obviously, because...
Oh, your dad works for trains.
Yeah, so free rail travel for his wife and family, well, as long as you're under the age of 18.
Right.
Or 16, I think he was. That was amazing, that. There we go. Anodizing. Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So the economy's fact.
There was talk about France. It was like maybe a race to who's going to fold first, the UK or France.
What about Germany? Are they okay because they manufacture things still?
I think maybe they're okay.
Right.
France, but they're fucked with energy, and France isn't, because they shut all the nukes down, didn't they?
Yeah.
Whereas France
Have
nuclear power.
That's it. That's all they do. They export it as well, don't they?
I think the biggest problem is they can't devalue the currency because they're in a monetary union
Yes.
with the old euro.
Chancellor Merkel, well, whoever it is now,
Olaf Scholz, is it not?
same thing.
Or is he gone?
I don't know. Was he not before?
Is that Austrian painter? Is it him?
I don't think so. Not anymore.
I go for that.
Yeah.
We'll see. We've got the autumn statement. It's been pushed back now, hasn't it, to November?
Oh, God.
Why would they keep doing that? Prolonging the agony.
I know,
They're
because
hoping for a miracle, aren't they?
it's like
Something's going to change without us doing anything.
some kind of Hail Mary now. They've done a reshuffle of the cabinet.
Oh, well,
And
it's
it'll be
time
all
for
changed.
phase 2, you see. We've
Yeah.
done phase 2. We've, as Keir Starlin said, we've done phase 1. We've shored up the foundations, and now it's time for phase 2. And you people, you're the right people for this job, this second phase.
Anybody with a
Of
pulse
the government.
and, pays the correct stamp duty on things.
Yeah, you pay. Yeah, as long as you pay the correct stamp duty, you're not Epstein's best buddy.
Yes.
And
What else? You don't watch porn in the Houses of Parliament.
you can have a job in cabinet,
Yeah.
ministerial role.
To be fair, the porn guy was a conservative, wasn't he? But,
Yeah, well, they're all
they all rub each other up the wrong way, don't they?
two wings, same bird, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh dear. So, I've got my least favourite job ever to do tomorrow.
Cutting a hole using, what are they called?
Speaking of architecture, ancient architects,
You're
and
gonna-
how those Egyptians just threw pyramids together like it's fucking note. All those guys at Pumapunku who drill perfect cylindrical core holes through granite.
Yeah.
My least favourite job, I've got to do a 4-inch core hole.
Cornhole.
Cornholio TP for my bunghole. A 4-inch core, CORE, core hole in some masonry tomorrow.
Oh,
It's
masonry.
a fucking nightmare. Well, bricks, a wall.
I think you make a big deal out of it.
Yeah. What are you doing tomorrow morning?
I just think it's boring.
What are you doing tomorrow morning? Do you want to have a go?
I think I'd rather do that than what I have to do in the morning tomorrow. Yeah.
Would you like to do it in someone's loft?
Depends if it's cold or warm up there. Is it in winter when it's freezing in the loft? Do you prefer a freezing loft or a boiling hot loft of the summer months?
I'll take a hot box.
Would you over a freezing box?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I would imagine that you would get warm just lying in the insulation and the dead things up there.
Yeah, you do. It's cozy. I could just curl up, go sleep.
I would ever consider taking, like, if it's got that horrible rock wall up in there, in between sort of the joists and stuff, or ceiling, whatever's. Do you ever think of taking in
Your own life?
a crawling sheet and roll it out in front of you, so you don't get that horrible rock wool in your fingers and stuff.
A crawling sheet?
Yeah, like if you could make one, you know, like a red carpet.
I was just going to say I'm going to get a red carpet
and roll it out across. Do you not think that could I make that and start selling it on
Screwfix?
Make YouTube videos about it and then sell it.
Get a deal with Screwfix?
Yeah.
The red carpet.
Yeah.
It's time to roll out the red carpet.
In any kind of crawl space. Are you not having it?
No, I think it's the most pointless thing. Fucking.
Why?
Why not attach the carpet to your body?
Exactly, yeah.
So you don't have to roll it out?
Well, that would be a time saver, wouldn't it? Yeah. Or like, you know, one of those snap bands.
What's that?
You know, snap band.
What's that, like the banjo string?
No.
On the end
That's
of your...
something else. A snap band. The kids get them at school, don't they? And it rolls up onto itself.
I know what you mean.
Or if you can pull it straight and you kind of crack its spine.
Yeah.
And it lies kind of flat.
A wrist ornament.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can do it around your wrist. So you could have a snap band red carpet that you have attached to your body.
What if you step in the wrong place and it rolls you up when you're in the middle of a loft?
Well, that's a risk you've got to take. Either
like
that,
Marilyn Monroe in the carpet. No, Cleopatra. Cleopatra in the rug.
what happened with Cleopatra in the rug?
That's how she smuggled herself into Caesar's lair, wasn't it?
Was it? Right.
She asked a servant to roll her up in a carpet and deliver it next door for a bit of rumpy pumpy.
Nice.
We old JC. Not that JC.
Although he could have been around.
Predates JC.
Predates.
You know,
allegedly.
Was Caesar born 100 BC?
Right, okay. Oh, well. No pressure.
Died, 46 maybe? So, different JC. Same initials. Carpet smuggled babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would put me off using one in the loft. Accidents.
Yeah.
Sounds like an accident waiting to happen.
If she bathed in ass's milk.
Ass milk?
Ass's milk.
Okay. Right. If she did, yeah.
Do you think she would smell a bit cheesy?
I mean, I've never had ass milk.
I mean...
I've never smelt ass milk either. Does it smell cheesy?
I don't know.
Why would you assume it does?
Well,
cow's milk doesn't smell cheesy.
Yeah, but if you leave it...
Why would ass milk?
I just think if you leave milk for a while, it goes cheesy, doesn't it?
Right.
You don't think?
So you're talking about old ass milk?
Yeah, so if it gets in crevices...
Yeah.
I think there's a potential that...
I see what you mean. So she's bathing in ass milk.
And she may smell like cheese.
Do you not think they have a rinse after in water?
I don't know. This is what I was wondering. I've always thought that.
These are the questions we need answers for.
And, you know, do you think they might be in some kind of scroll somewhere, do you think?
We need a classicist.
Yeah.
Who can ask what is the go-to procedure for bathing in ass milk? Do you just get in the ass milk, get out and dry off? Or do you have a rinse?
Or do you roll around in sand afterwards?
Oh God, why would you do that?
Well, I don't know. Maybe that's something to do with the process. Would there have been sand around, or would it have been green?
I hate sand. It's coarse.
It is, isn't it?
Gets everywhere.
It does.
It's irritating.
Yeah. I'll put Anakin.
Yes, they had sand in Egypt.
Right, okay.
God.
At that time?
At that time, yes. It's post Younger Dryas.
Right, okay.
Younger Dryas milk.
Ugh.
Yes, Egypt was green at one point, but not. I don't think since the Younger Dryas. So they would have had plenty of sand to dry off from your ass milk bath.
Okay.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wonder who would have it. Who's the medical guy? Galen. Galen probably wrote about the proper procedure for bathing in ass milk, if there was such a thing. If it wasn't, uniquely Egyptian queen behaviour. So check out some Galen, man. Get back next week with the answer.
Yeah.
Or you could just ask AI.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Anyway, it's 10:15. Should we do some housekeeping quick?
I think so.
I found the jingle.
New.
It's housekeeping time. Don't skip this bit. Share the word through Telegram, Facebook, or a tweet. Gouge the eyes, let's raise the tone. Gouge the eyes, help us grow.
Gouge his eyes.
We can't do this on our own. Our podcast is in need. Help us. Tell your friends and plant a seed. It's housekeeping time. Return some value. It's housekeeping time. Gouge his eyes.
Gouge his eyes.
It's housekeeping time. Focus your chi. It's housekeeping time. Sign up for the newsletter.
Oh, it's so chilled, isn't it, that housekeeping jingle? So smooth.
Yeah.
I've missed it. But yeah, this is a value for value podcast. If you get some value from this podcast, please consider returning some value, as JC did in the chat earlier on.
Yeah.
That's how we operate. We don't, paywall stuff or anything as a rule. We don't have adverts. That's the main thing on the audio stuff.
Oh, right. Okay.
YouTube puts ads on, it seems, whether you're monetized or not. Sort of out of your hands, from what we've been told by people in the chat over the years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're value for value. If you get some value, return some value. And there's a myriad of ways of doing this. My favourite way, as ever, is word of mouth, sharing links.
Yeah.
On your old Telegram channels and Facebook groups and social platforms.
Yeah.
Helps spread the word, get more people involved and contributing and taking part. And, connection is protection, as they say.
Is it?
I believe so.
Right.
When the economy collapses, you'll be glad
that you're connected
to like-minded people.
Yeah. Maybe we should think about collecting up some, some books about anatomy and growing food, maybe, how to survive tektites.
What would you call that? The overarching self-sufficiency?
Maybe.
We could have a self-sufficiency blob page in the Element server, couldn't we?
Yeah. How to
Just
keep
for that
warm
sort of-
in the apocalypse.
Yeah. Or how to keep cold.
Or how to keep cold and
If you
dry.
need. Yeah. How to grow your own food. How to create fire.
Yeah. Pretty sure I could do that.
How to find fresh water.
Yeah.
Dowsing. Follow the ley lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should do that.
Yeah. Okay. And you could do that by joining the Element server and sharing that information with us. And in there, you could do lots of different things, like birthday shout-outs, guest suggestions, and requesting focus chi. So if your chi is depleted, have you tidied up the desk a little bit? Things look a bit neat. Is it just that everything's fallen in a straight line?
It's elliptical. They're all pointing towards your head.
Right, okay. It's just its own gravitational pull. Like that comet impact crater in Michigan.
It's a gravitational anomaly around Matt's head.
Yeah. It's called my hair. Yeah, but if your chi's depleted, you've got something big coming up that you need to get over the hilt of, like an exam or some kind of test, or you're feeling a bit ill, send that in. Request it via the Element server, or you can
We haven't
email.
had one
us.
for fucking yonks, have we?
No.
A focus chi request.
And you know, pretty much bang on the money each time.
It's effective.
It is effective, yeah.
99% of the time, it works 50% of the time.
I would say so. I think that's about it. Send us news articles, videos, audio links, timestamp them if they're long. If you're on YouTube, smash the bell, sub, comment, like, all that kind of stuff. Be a member. We've got memberships now for some people, it appears.
Oh, right, yeah, we should raise that. So, yeah, there's 3 tiers of membership. I think the first tier is £1.99. And it's another way of, an alternative way of supporting us. It's going through this kind of thought process of, if you're making YouTube some money, maybe they'll push your videos more and give you more impressions. It's a live experiment.
It is.
But we got a message from a couple of people on the Element server saying the button isn't there, the join button.
Yeah.
And so I emailed YouTube, technical help or whatever it is. And they said it seems to be an iOS thing. They said some channels that, not channels that are shadow banned, some channels don't have this option available yet on iOS.
No.
But we'll look to have it sorted in the future.
Yeah.
So who knows whether maybe if you're on iOS, whether you can do it over a desktop or by some other means. I don't know. But because I could see it on mine when I went on my phone, I could see the little join become a member.
Yeah, mine's
button,
got it.
So
Well, I've got a Google phone.
you're on a
though.
Google. Oh well, you're part of the beast system then, aren't you?
Exactly, yes. You've got a Google phone. You got an Android phone.
There's nothing to do with Google. Android?
Android is Google's software.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought Android was like what do you call it? Decentralized.
I doubt it.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. I thought Android software
The
was,
operating system.
Yeah, was licensed by Google.
All right. I don't know.
And lots of phone companies use it basically. But you know, I could be wrong. I quite often am about a number of things most days.
So yeah, look for the membership if you want to support us that way.
Yeah.
There are ideas afoot of what sort of extra stuff we could put on there. Rant videos and probably behind the scenes pre-stream videos, maybe. I don't know. Oh gosh, Helen's saying
there's a live chi request.
A chi request for equine milk.
Yes.
No, I think is it Lee?
I think it's the one above.
Oh shit, it's Lee.
Yes.
Oh no, I've just realised this is the old. Oh, it's there. I've got the chi. We're on the Roadcaster 1. I didn't know if the chi was loaded.
Oh, we'd have to acapella it.
We would.
Acapella it.
Yeah, we got a Focus Chi, a live request from Lee from the Big Conspire podcast. I was going to request Chi this week. He says, my wife is in hospital, but I forgot to mention it in Element. Other things on my mind. I'm sure, obviously.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that, Lee. Let's all eyes down looking. I'll grab Chi 3PO here, our little Chi focusing assistant.
The Chi totem.
The totem pole of the Chi. Okay, everyone, it only works if we all do this synchronistically.
Yes.
And you at home. Let's eyes down looking, focus our Chi for Lee's wife who's in hospital.
Literally.
Was backed up.
Yeah, that was chunky. It was a chunky load.
It was, wasn't it?
Of Chi, that.
So hopefully it doesn't,
I feel lighter though.
Yes, it's nice to get rid of it sometimes.
I hope that helps, Lee. Hope your wife gets sorted and gets home soon.
Yes, definitely.
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah. What else can you do? Show artwork.
Oh!
And
got
I
some
think,
show artwork.
What
are you doing?
Just seen the delay in my pointing.
All right.
I think we've had a submission again.
Yeah. Incoming. We had some show artwork from Helen.
Lovely.
Oh, I've chopped off. I've chopped off a bit. Hang on. Ooh.
It's fine.
There we
get
go.
the idea.
Chris Cottrell, the Carolina Bays mystery.
Yeah.
392. Everything, all the important information is there. Ooh.
Yep.
Hey, look at that flower.
Any
Hey, so we've got we've got a lot going on here. We've got craters.
Yeah.
So these are the Carolina Bay craters, I would suggest.
Is that an AI generated?
Is it AI slop?
No, is it an AI generated Carolina Bay? You've gone to AI and said,
I presume so.
Give me a picture of the Carolina Bays. And
It's pretty cool if so, isn't it?
I'm just saying, or is that actually what they look like? 'Cause
No, these aren't real, genuine Carolina Bays, man. Taken from space. How big do you think they fucking are? It's like a satellite image, isn't it?
Now, have you ever heard of tryptophobia?
Oh no, what's tryptophobia? Let me guess.
Go on then.
Is it a fear trip? So try. Is it a fear of getting fingered with 3 fingers?
No, that's your fear. That's philophobia.
What's tryptophobia? Oh, tryptophan. Is it the same root? Tryptophobia.
What's a tryptophan?
Tryptophan is a brain chemical, isn't it?
Is it? Right, okay. I've never heard of that one.
L-tryptophan.
Don't know.
Gosh, he's a fucking psychiatrist here.
Not me. I've had
We'll come back to the artwork. Go
basically 9 months of mediocre training.
Come on, explain tryptophobia.
It's just a fear of circles, or like, so there seems to be this kind of inbuilt disgust if you see lots of circles together. So put into Google, if you can share it, please.
Share the screen?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Then we'll put a warning on here for tryptophobes. Whilst Phil clicks around, and figures how to use the computer again. And
how do you spell it? Is it like that?
I think so. Yeah, there you go. Oh, no, with a Y, obviously. Tryptophobia images we want. Look there, there's one. That kind of thing. So some people will get freaked out by seeing that.
By seeing a honeycomb?
Or that one there.
What the fuck's that?
That's like someone who's trying to make someone feel ill.
These are AI things. Oh my gosh, AI slops.
So
there's a natural one. No, that looks like a honeycomb.
Yeah. So there seems to be a natural disgust of seeing images like that for a lot of people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah. I mean, the AI slot ones are quite horrid, but I mean, seeing them in nature.
You're not bothered. Some people have a bigger reaction to it, that's all. There's a phobia of everything. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the artwork. We haven't finished critiquing the artwork.
No, so she has confirmed, Helen, that it is AI for the holes.
Okay. Looks like we have some meteor impacts up at the top.
I mean, her impressive overlaid multiple meteors. What's the background? Is that space in the background as well?
Yeah, it's like a satellite photo, isn't it, of the bays being formed.
Oh, I see.
And Earth has no atmosphere.
No.
I guess.
Yes. And
we've got ice. We've got like an ice wall down at the bottom.
It's like an ice image, isn't it? It's not like Antarctica, icy mountains in the foreground.
I think that's connotating the ice age, isn't it?
Yeah.
The end of the ice age.
Laurentide ice sheet.
Now I'm going to test you now. We've got some flowers here.
Well, I thought you've picked up on this, haven't you, for some reason?
Yeah. Come on. All the episodes we've done about this event. Why is there these flowers here?
Those particular flowers. Don't know.
No.
Is it a particular flower?
It is, yeah.
Do you recognise that flower?
Yeah.
Are we actually describing anything now to the...
I'm just going to Google for clarity, but the reason it's called the Younger Dryas
is because of the flower?
It's named after the flower.
Oh.
Oh, we're still on images. Sorry, I'll go back to the Younger Dryas and Older Dryas stadials are geologic periods of cold temperature that are named after the Dryas octopetala. Octopetala, so 8 petal, which flourished during blah, 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 blah.
When did it flourish? When it was cold or warm? Cold.
During that time.
Oh, just during that time.
It's used as a fossil indicator of those periods, the older Dryas and the Younger Dryas and the older Dryas. So the whole that sort of climate catastrophe is named after that flower, which is cool, isn't it? And Helen's dropped it in the artwork there for eagle-eyed viewers. Yeah. Very nice, multi-layered composition, I would suggest.
I mean, there's so much to see there. It's like...
Some thought's gone into it.
It has, hasn't it? You know,
which is highly appreciated.
I would just serve up...
And Chris is on there as well.
Oh, Chris, yeah, that guy. Oh, dearie me. The other thing you could do as well is you could sign up for the newsletter. So in order to get the newsletter, you would have to email us at the Amish Inquisition at gmail.com. And put newsletter in the subject header of the email, and we would try and arrange that for you to come out. And in the newsletter, you've got what's coming up in the next month, sometimes an article from Phil, sometimes never an article from Ben, some memes, and a link to the Amish loot chest or merch store where you could buy loads of crap, mainly articles of clothing and crockery with giant testicles on.
Got the Useless Eater t-shirt. You are the carbon they want to reduce. Bacon nuts for your Francis Bacon fans. Most of these things are in mug form as well. 3 weeks to flatten the earth. Literally a communist. And the logo, it's all there. You get discount in the newsletter, and you get something tangible to keep, and we get a little slice from Teespring.
Yes.
So, you know, if you want something to wear for a wedding or something, get a Bacon Nuts t-shirt and you're away.
Exactly. And a mug.
Yeah. Anyway, what's the best way to become a producer of this shit show?
Just give us money, man.
Keep the mics hot, keep spinning the reel. Your silvers are armor. Your coppers are steel. Echoes in our metal halls, keep it alive. Give us value. Your coins and power, fueling our drive. Can you be the one to keep us alive? Give us value. Just press play. We slay, asking you today.
Yes, if you scroll down to the show notes, you'll find a PayPal link there. You can sign up for a one-off donation or a monthly recurring sustaining donation. Or if you want to keep us caffeinated, you can buy us a coffee.
So sales, your choice, but every bit helps our voice.
It all helps pay the running costs, keep the wheels on, and keep us in business.
Feel the steel strings, the electric roar. Your donations are what we're fighting for. Banging heads, we stand united as one. Can you value flames of your support? Have just begun. Toss a coin.
Yeah, toss a coin
Wow.
if you feel the need.
I don't really know how we can do anything. I think we just end now after that.
Yeah, well,
it's a new mix, isn't
it's
it?
not new. It's old. It just didn't make the cut.
Well, it has now.
It has, yeah. I'm diving into the archives.
My eardrums have burst.
Good.
And are bleeding.
Oh. You're welcome.
This is incredible. There was so much going on in that.
Yeah.
In that jingle.
I think there's like 50 more of them of similar quality. I'm just going to say shittiness. It's, yeah. So, anyway, I think it's about time, isn't it? We thank...
Pick up the Mandem Joe.
Oh.
It's time to big up the Mandems.
Yeah, let's thank the producers for episode 390. Is it 390? No, it's 392. I've got the wrong title on.
It's fine. Who's counting anymore?
It's 392. These things are important. Like when you put this on IMDb or your curriculum vitae, it's important that you have the correct show no entitlement.
Yes, and yeah, you know, you'd be the producer for the correct episode.
Yeah, we don't want to miss that up.
No, we have guest producers, don't we?
Yeah.
Keep it fresh.
Extremely cool, guys.
I could do with the list then, couldn't I? Because
Yeah.
here we are. Producers for episode 392. We've got James Dowds, our artist, Helen from Berkshire, Archie Laddie, and JC. I've slipped him in there from the chat.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Julius Caesar.
Oh, sorry. Julius.
It's one of them. It's
Yeah.
one of them. Definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Play Pinball Wizard.
I'm literally a communist.
Thanks very much.
The dwarf, the currents, the grape, the
Homophobe. The wind.
the based Sigma Chad, the corn pop,
The number 11.
Oh my God.
the big chungus,
The cripple and the mother of...
From hell.
Are you retarded?
I don't get it, never will.
Oh my gosh, we run out of bed. The old bed.
Right. Did it not just start again?
No, evidently not. Evidently not. No.
Oh gosh.
No. So yeah, thanks for your support for another week. It's much appreciated. Yeah, probably Alia in the chat going on about Pinball Wizard.
Okay.
As if I could remember what that clip is called. I wonder what I would. Who was it? It was the guy from the Who, wasn't it? On stage,
Oh,
wasn't it? Do you remember?
Yeah. What's his name? Roger Daltrey.
Was it Roger Daltrey?
Yeah, it was Roger Daltrey, wasn't it? But anyway, he wasn't being very good, was he?
Well, he was playing a Kinks song, wasn't he? Was it the encore?
Oh, I don't know.
And he started playing "Thank You for the Days," and a lady in the crowd wasn't happy that you go see Roger Daltrey, and for an encore he's playing a Kinks song.
No.
And she really wanted to hear Pinball Wizard.
But we can't find that anywhere.
The thing is, I can't keep every single clip we ever play on this thing because how long would I be scrolling?
Well,
to find
as long as you have been doing now.
Fuck me.
Gross.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't have been that long ago, but I can't see. I will have taken it off. I would have replaced it with something else.
Some other hot content.
I'm sure I would. Yeah,
something a bit more.
And even if I scroll, if I went to like file and what do you call it, Explorer, and looked for it that way, it still wouldn't play the video. Mind you, the video probably isn't necessary, is it? It's probably just the audio. But yeah, I have no idea where it is.
No.
Play Pinball Wizard. Pinball Wizard! She got some shit.
Something along those
The thing
lines.
is, if you don't even know what the file's called, because I wouldn't have called it Pinball Wizard, because I choose my file name so that you two can't work out what it is when I open it.
Because we'll just say what it is.
I always leave it vague, just to not spoil the surprise.
Right, okay.
Maybe it'd be Roger. Oh, Roger Daltrey Heckler!
We have you, Roger.
We love you, Roger!
Yeah.
Oh, God, let's just grab a quick window capture here. Where would it be? Media player? Oh, fucking hell. Who is this guy? Who is this guy?
We have you, Roger.
Okay. I'm still doing this because again it's a band that we forget how good they were and how great the
Play Pinball
I've
Wizard.
just got to work it out in my head.
No one cares how good the Kinks were, Roger.
No, I know.
Play Pinball
I've
Wizard.
just got to work it out in my head.
Pinball Wizard. Pinball Wizard.
What?
Pinball Wizard.
Oh, fuck it. Oh, I'm fed up with that. I've done too much.
Yeah, but we're not. Look, I've got your husband. Let's
Thank you for the day. Cause it was days, those sacred days you gave me. Thinking of the day.
It's not good as Pinball Wizard.
Shut the fuck up.
She did get ejected.
Good.
Yeah.
You're ruining it for all the other 70-year-olds.
But we're not. Pinball Wednesday.
That's the one. I need to clip that, don't I?
Yes. And then we can play it every episode.
Yeah.
Pinball Wizard!
Pinball Wizard!
Yeah. I wonder where he was playing. It looked like he was at a guild hall or something.
He did, yeah, a little
small.
venue. And at the end of the video, I don't think I clipped it originally. He puts his guitar down and he has to go up like a spiral staircase, and it's painful.
Oh.
Watching him, he's got someone helping him.
Oh no.
It's like, fuck me.
He's like 18. Surely he's made a fortune from the Who. Who?
He can't be doing it for the money, surely. Surely it's for the love of doing it.
Who did Townsend not write all the songs though, or something?
I presume he wrote most of them.
So, you know, maybe he's just got all the cash.
Yeah.
And he just gets a performance fee.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And I hear he spent most of the money on fast cars.
Adultery.
Yeah, fast cars, women and booze. And the rest of it he just squandered.
I thought there was going to be a punchline there.
Yeah, it's a George Best quote.
Yes, a George Quesby boat.
Yeah. Sun's getting low, man.
It is, yeah. Let's fuck off.
Yeah, it's fuck off into the night. It's 11:15.
It is.
Oh, it's time to go.
Time to go.
Yeah, I've had enough.
I've had enough too.
I'm not looking forward to tomorrow.
No.
I hate doing cornholes.
Doing cornholes.
Yeah, time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, time to go.
There we go. I remember to put my fader down.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we'll sign off. Barn raising next week.
Nice. Let's keep it loose and fresh.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it, is it not?
I think so.
I might have I might bathe in ass milk before we start.
Let's get a whiff of cheese. You smell like cheese anyway.
Thanks. It's occupational hazard.
Yeah.
Of being a base Sigma Chad as well.
Yeah.
Right. Back next week for barn racing, and then we'll be into October then.
October fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A full slate of guests lined up.
Wow.
Nope, none.
Oh.
Need to pull my finger out, but I've got the fucking NIC coming this week.
Oh, I thought that was ages ago.
Last year.
Yeah.
They come once a year.
Yeah.
They're like Satan claws.
Yeah.
So I've had that on my mind. It's not nice. It's stressful.
No. Is he going to watch you cornhole someone?
I think you have to pay extra for that.
Well, I assume you were on the top tier of cornholing by now.
I'll ask him when he comes. Do you want to see? All right, John. Do you want to see me cornhole someone this time?
Yeah.
So mix it up a bit.
Yeah.
Rather than just the normal, demonstration of competence.
Exactly.
Or lack thereof.
Yes.
Right. We'll be back next week for a barn raising. Please join us if you're free. 8 p.m.
Join us.
Ish, Sunday.
Yeah. We'll try and be on time.
Yeah, we'll have to think about some things to talk about. Hopefully you have a busy week. You've
Will
got
Ben
something
be
to
here?
say. I don't know. He hasn't said.
Right.
If not, it'll be me and thee.
Right, then I'll start accumulating thought topics.
Oh. Right. All right. Thanks for joining us, folks. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
You say you were aroused by e-scooters at the age of 34.
Are you not entertained? I love you.
Epic dub.
Thank you for watching.
Asna!
Low-key drip.
Shut up, gay boy!
Teenage Mutant Elon Musk fuckface wanker.
I like what you got. Good job.
No.
I thought
Graham Norton, aye.
Maybe I'll get in the red chair.
Maybe, aye. I'll definitely get launched back, won't I?
Oh. I wouldn't want to walk.
No?
I'd want launched.
Would you want launched?
I'd want launched.
Same gear.
Launched into Lorraine Kelly's arsehole. She's getting it stinking off your da. She's getting it rotten today, but isn't she? Who's your favourite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? What?
Donatello.
Oh, is it?
Aye.
Michelangelo. Twiddle your mum.
What a bum ticks today.
That's all it bum ticks. Your mum buys tampons from Aldi. She calls them jam packs.
Wee Jamie likes Lorraine Kelly as well.
Does he?
Aye, he's a big fan.
Jamie Nolan, king of the pedos.